Does anybody think they have an idea? Question over there, you got it?
I mean, I drew a little diagram.
Okay, what does it look like?
There are, so, okay, can I write it up on the board, do you think? So, this is just my diagram. These are trees. So I have 3 trees in this row. I have 2 trees in that row. 3 here. 4 here. I got one of them. 4 here. Oh. Anyone else want to take a gander? Or want to write on the cool tablet? You ready for it?
There's only 3 rows.
You got it?
No.
No? Behind? Got it?
There's only 3.
Are you kidding?
Because there's...
Look at the board.
You have to have 4 trees in a row.
Yeah, he has 4 trees in 2 rows.
You know what?
Not
then
4
he has
trees
to-
in 5 rows.
It's a good effort.
Oh, so you can make them share rows.
Yes, absolutely. Each tree will share exactly 2 rows.
At least he's right, so you can do that. Except share rows at the same time. How do you do that?
Wait.
Give it somebody another minute, and then we're moving on.
Oh wait. Did you do it?
And if you've given up on it, let's take a look at your assignment, see what you got. You ready?
Kin trees in
You
a
know
row.
it? You ready?
No.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a star.
Well, why didn't you say so?
Yeah, if you did that, you didn't.
So you got 1 tree, 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 1 tree. So there are 10 trees. They made a star. So the intersection of each of the lines. So it looks like, see, this is shared by these 2 rows. This is shared by these 2 rows, so on and so forth. Oh, little trick. Sorry about that. But got us thinking a little bit, which is okay. I mean, I promise your brain won't break if we make you think.
I mean, it might.
Some people might say, oh, you gain an extra wrinkle in your brain. And there's no correlation between somebody having a smooth brain and more wrinkles. I used to think that. Like, I used to call people, like, your brain's real smooth, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. And, I used to think that meant that they weren't as intelligent. But then I found out later in life that it doesn't matter. The amount of surface area that your brain has nothing to do with intelligence. And now you're like, how's surface area related to that? Well, the wrinkle, you have a curve and a curve and a curve. All right, on page 5 of the assignment, so I'm looking at just number 1 through 12. Is there any of those you would like to take a look at? 1 through 12. Coming to you. What?
7.
Number 7? That's a 7. Number 7, we got the fraction in there. All right. Let's just start moving things around. Oh, you know what I can do? Before I start moving anything around, has anyone heard the term clear the denominator? So what's the only denominator up there? 2. So I have 4 terms up there.
Divide everything by 2.
No.
Multiply.
Multiply.
God. So by doing that, that cancels. What do you think about that?
Cool.
And then we can start doing subtract 4x, so I get 5x over here. Add 4, so I get 40 over here. Divide by 5. Right? So this kind of looks like, whoops. So here's our number line. We got 0. We got 8 here. We have a solid dot. And shading that way. So that, excuse me. So that's going, choking. So that's going to negative infinity. So interval notation reads left to right. So how should we write interval notation?
Negative infinity.
And is that the negative infinity square or rounded bracket? Rounded, because we can't get there. So negative infinity up to what?
8 with the heart.
Square.
8 with a square or a hard cornered thing. I like it. Perfect. That's our interval notation. What else do we have on that front page you want to take a look at? So clear the denominator. We'll definitely be doing a lot of that. So if you didn't catch it right away, we'll definitely work on it. Yeah. Number 8. Number 8. Over your shoulder. So 12 and then 5 minus x greater than 4x minus 4. Is that the right one? All right. I think I could distribute over the parentheses. So I'm going to get 60 minus 12x is greater than 4x minus 4. Agree? And then let's see what we can do with this. Let's subtract the 60. So on this side, I'm going to get negative 64. And then I'm going to subtract the 4x. And so I'm going to get negative 16x over here. Now, big thing takes place here. Dividing by the negative. So what's going to happen to that sign?
Flip.
It's going to flip over. So it's going to go this way now. So I'm going to get x. And negative over negative. So negative over negative is positive, right? How many times is 16 going to 64? 4. Sweet. All right, so our number line kind of looks like this, where we have a 0 here, a 4 here. We have a round bracket here, and we're going this way. So we're going to negative infinity. So how am I going to write that interval notation with that? They're both rounded, so I go negative infinity to 4, and they're both rounded because I don't include the 4. It's not, I don't have that little equal sign on the bottom. All right, let's flip to the back side. And if I ever don't cover a problem that you want to see, you're always welcome to ask me at a different time, or come see me, if you need to as well. Any questions on the back page? 13. Oh boy, that's the only one I didn't know how to do. I was good with everything else. Is it hot in here?
Yes.
Good. I was hoping I didn't have a fever. All right. So this is called a compound inequality. So technically, how many problems are here? There's 2. And that middle section goes with both problems. And I had said to you yesterday, the best idea is to split it into 2 problems. Don't start moving things over each side because it's going to catch up with you when we get to the more complex problems. So start practicing it now. So you go. So you have this. And then you have this. And notice the middle goes with both, correct? Okay. Let's see. If I subtract that, I get negative 7 over here. If I divide by a negative, I'm going to get 7 over 2. This sign flips over to get that. Is that okay? We'll take care of that in a second. And then I'm going to do the same with this. I'm going to have a negative 2. I'm going to add, or subtract 3, excuse me. And I'm going to divide by negative. So I'm going to flip this one back over. Now, 3.5, you're absolutely right. I was just trying to keep it as a fraction. All right, so let me ask you this. Did this sign flip from here to here because I multiplied or divided by a negative? No, it flipped over because I rewrote the problem. I rearranged the problem. Okay? I'm going to go. I was just going to. This is a little cooler out here, so I'm going to prop this bad boy open. All right, so here is the situation. There is now the recycling bin that's in the way. If you're not looking down, you trip over it and it falls on your face on the floor. What's going to happen? Yeah, I will point and laugh, definitely. So I don't know if that's going to do as much good, but it seemed to have a little bit more airflow outside. But I don't know. We should open a window. Open a window. Okay. Help me out on this. Oh, you know what we can do? We have an idea. We have an idea. Just get the dirty stuff. Go out to the water fountain. You still with me in this adventure? Make that soaking wet and then wring it out. Don't worry, she's on the whiteboard. We're going to try and trick the system into turning on down here. So make it like soaking wet in the water fountain. Don't dump it in the toilet because that's kind of gross. I know it's funny, but I think it's kind of gross. Don't trip on the thing because we will point and laugh. Whoa, he tripped! No. All right. So thinking about this number line, so I have 0 here, I have 2 here. 7 over 2 is 3.5, right? All right, so I have a solid dot here. I have an open dot here, and we're shading in between them. So the interval notation on this one is going to go from rounded bracket 2, right, to 7 over 2 square bracket. Now some people will see a fraction, and they always think because it's a fraction, it's smaller than 1. Well, that's called an improper fraction for those of you who might not have paid attention in 3rd grade, where the top number is bigger than the bottom. We good? Yeah. All right. Any other questions on that sheet? 8, what? 17 and 18 or? Oh, yeah. You didn't trip both ways. It's right out of the toilet. I love it. All right, we're going to see if this is going to work. Okay. I saw this trick once. I don't know if it really works. I don't know if it really works, but it like makes us feel better because we actually attempted to do something, right? It's just like if you want if you ever want to know, if you ever want to find something that you think is good for you, like eating Oreos has got to be good for you because something that tastes that good couldn't be bad. I guarantee you can find on the internet that somewhere it's going to say it's good for you. So that's all you have to do is you find it and you're like, dude, it says it there, therefore it must be.
Yeah, the internet is always right.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right, so 17 and 18. So what happens to the solution of, this is 17, 1/3 x minus 2 is greater than 1, and 5 minus x is greater than -10. Okay, let's take a look. So let's solve this one first. So it looks like if I add 2 to both sides, and then I multiply both sides by 3, then I had this, and then I had the and word or symbol in there, so I'm going to modify this one. -15. So if I get 9 this way, 15 this way, I get an open dot and open dot, and we're shading in between. I don't understand what the question said. What happens if the solution to that and that, if the inequality is changed to an or statement? So if I modify this to say or, so that means that this would continue this way, and this would continue this way. So that's negative to positive infinity. Oh yeah, so if that's changed to an or, that's a good one. It becomes all real solutions. It'll keep going, you're exactly right. And then why is the bottom inequality incorrect? Did number 18 look like this? Solid dot going this way and open dot going this way. And I don't know what the number values were. Did it happen to look like that? There's what?
Yeah.
Oh, they're just saying, is it incorrect? And I think they're saying it's incorrect because if you were to make a line and draw the graph, it would look something like this. And this is an or statement, not an and statement. Remember, and has to combine both terms. Okay? All right, if you would, pass forward your assignment. And if you're passing forward an old assignment, that is fine as well. Just make sure your name is on everything. Sound good? Hey, did all the homework find a home that was getting passed back? Because I always love it when it makes it to about the middle of the room and then it gets passed forward and I'm start looking at it to grade it again tonight going, did I grade all this? I think, let's see. Did I get all the summer packets from all of you? My newest student, you got a summer packet with you? If you do, did you do the one for your honors?
No, I didn't.
Oh, sweet.
Name on it? Yeah, babe. Thanks. Oh, that's part of it too. Yeah. Brick thick, isn't it? All right, I'll get that in there for you. Thank you. All right. So today's notes are kind of similar to yesterday's, but I think we're going to probably see some of the things that might goof this situation in. So, is my teaching going okay? If I ever do anything bad, you let me know. That. Do that. Do that. What's that? Who I say?
Yeah.
Oh, probably. You probably didn't comb it. I bet you there's extras in each of those rows, so back row I'll come to you when you got the extras. Yeah, he did a few things with equations, but I'm certified to teach all science. So.
Cool.
Extras? Extras? Any extras over there? They actually count right. Perfect. Thanks, everybody. All right. Let's graph the following and see how this is going to work. I'm going to try and graph them both on the same. So I have -4 down here, 0 here, I got 5. I would have a solid dot here, open dot here. It's and. It says develop proficiency for solving compound inequalities, graphing them and expressing the solutions in interval notation. Graph the following provided. So that should be a -4. Sorry about that. So this is going to be an interval notation like this. Does everyone feel comfortable when to use a rounded bracket called a parenthesis and a square bracket? And I don't know what the fancy name for that is other than square bracket.
Yep.
Is anyone like, dude? It's okay if you are. Is there a wait?
Open circle is for the not equal to sign.
Yeah, so if you have this or this, you're going to use, of course I'm standing anyway as I answer. That's the open circle. Or if you're dealing with it's going to infinity or coming from negative infinity. Is that cool? All right, so this next one, let's take a look. -2, 0, 4. So I have this going that way. I have this going that way. Does everyone feel comfortable that that would be an or statement when graphed?
Yeah.
So this region or this region will work. They both also could work. But if I do interval notation, on this one, I'm coming from negative infinity and getting to 2, and it's a rounded bracket.
Then you have the weird symbol,
And then what about this one? Square bracket to infinity with a rounded bracket. So there's 2 regions that work there. No coffin. We're not that far into the school year yet. I don't know about you, but I don't think this wet sock thing's working.
It smells.
Smells? Sock smell?
Why socks? Why not like actual?
I don't know. I had a whole bunch of extra socks that I brought them in one day. A couple years ago.
Did anyone ever?
And when these socks go bad, I'll probably donate these too.
So like these are used socks.
Yeah, they're my socks. I get new socks every year. Yeah. They probably were washed a few times. Each time I wore them, I washed them. All right. So this looks like an and statement. They're claiming this is an and statement. What do we see as a problem?
It doesn't work. So
Yeah, it's not going to overlap. It's not going to overlap. Huh. What do What do you think?
It's an
No real solution.
So it's the empty set.
Would use that brackets for
Heck yeah! And then make sure if you use these brackets, you draw your faces in. You know, wait, that's the guy's nose. Here's his eye. Here's his smile. Here's his smile.
Do you have nose hairs? Why not?
You got it. Anything is possible in here. It's almost like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. If we don't have any teeth. And I probably won't sing to you. All right. Or statement. Or statement. What do you notice? You're going in the same direction. So I'm going to use this dotted line. So does it look like, so this dotted line, come on baby, I've made you dotted for a reason. I made you dotted. There we go. I'd say that whole region there works to put this in interval notation. Okay, remember an or statement, one region has to work. So this definitely works over here, but this arrow is going to go right over top of it. So everything from here to here is going to work. So from negative infinity all the way to 7, and 7's a rounded bracket because we don't equal it. We used to call those bad inequality things. Well, why would you have that? Why wouldn't you just have the one? Why wouldn't you just have the ideal solution, which is that? All right, let's see. I got negative 1 here. I got 0 here. I got 3 here. So this is here. This is here. I'm making you green for a reason.
You trying to save the planet?
Yeah, might be running out of ink. Where is the and gonna work?
Between the -1 and 3.
Yeah, it's gonna work from the -1 all the way up to the 3, and we're square brackets on each. Okay? This region over here, double tap, triple tap now, quadruple tap. That's no sum word. This region here doesn't work for us. Okay, in the and statement. If it was an or statement, totally going to happen, but we can't use it over there because to the right of 3, so 4, 5, 6, all the way to infinity, won't work. Okay? Got another or statement, so I got 3 here, I got 8 here, open dot going this way, open dot going this way. Where do we start? 3. Rounded bracket to infinity. Why is it going to infinity? Why don't I stop it? Because it's or. Good. Shh. A couple of you are chatting too much. Not just me who's talking sometimes. All right, this one's 5. This one's -2. There we go. Solid dot here. Going this way. Solid dot here. Going this way. Where is this going to work? So negative infinity to what? To -2. Why is it -2 and not 5? Right. This region here doesn't work for both. It only works on one. But if I come down this way, it works for both. So I have to ignore this region.
Shouldn't there be a
Square
bracket?
bracket.
Square bracket.
Whoa,
Hang on.
a square
Come back to me.
Shouldn't there be a bracket?
It's an or. So or can both be true or one part can be true. And you guys correct me on the square bracket, so that now messy square bracket is my correction. Hope that's okay. I'm sorry. Don't cry yourself to sleep, okay? It's okay to do that. We might laugh. Oh man, we love this. We have the decimals and or statement. See if we can make this work. Looks like I'll add 4 to both sides. If I add 4, I'm thinking it is what? What? 3.6? Is that right? Or no?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Well, no, yeah, it is. You add it and then you add.
Did I do that wrong?
Negative
3.8.
What?
Or actually, it's 2.6. 2.6.
What?
Hang on. So if I add 4, and I'm subtracting 1.4 from it, we borrow from here, carry that, that'd be a 6, 2. Right?
It's 2.
That's 2.
Yeah.
Someone check on your calculator because we, including me, obviously can't do mental arithmetic these days. I always try and look on the internet, so.
Are we supposed to add the 4 to the other side?
I would have, yeah. So it'd be positive. So you go +4, +4. But being it's a negative right there. Right? And then I'm going to divide by the 5. So now this is really going to get goofy. So this sign flips because I'm dividing by the negative. So I'm going to get 2.6 over -5. Does anyone have a calculator?
0.52.
Who what?
0.52.
Really? Thanks. Dude, rock star. All right. Oh, the next one should be a little easier. Thank goodness.
Wouldn't it be negative 0.52?
Love you guys. You guys, I tell you what, you always need to come with me to help correct me. Because I am always wrong. All right. I'm glad they spent all that money on the new HVAC system here. It's hot. All right. Negative 0.52. Negative. Oh, wait. I'm going on a different graph than this one. What happened? Negative 5's here, 0's here, negative 0.52 is there. All right, I think we can do this now. So I have an open dot going this way from here. I have an open dot going this way from here. So the interval notation will go from negative infinity to -5, and go from 0.52, negative 0.52, to infinity. Am I almost done? No, there's like 16 more slides, pal. Oh, really? I don't know how many there are. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, so we have so much to do and so little time. 12 minutes, good. All right. Yes or no? Did I do that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we have that so far. I have -5 here, open dot going this way. I got 0 down here. I got -4/5 here. That's a solid dot going this way. It's an and statement, so it has to work for both. Where will it work for both? Will it work for both in between the two?
No.
No?
After the negative 4.5. So it's
Yeah, so
negative 4.
So from -4/5 to infinity, there's my interval notation, right? Oops, that's a rounded bracket, sorry. And statement better go together. Agreed?
Yeah.
So our negative 4 is here. We have a solid dot. I have 3 here, so 0 is there, 3 is here. Open dot. Is it and or or?
And.
So where is and going to work for us?
Negative 4.
Okay, so from where to negative 4?
Negative.
Negative
Yeah,
infinity to negative 4.
Square or rounded?
Square bracket.
Square. Love it.
No, it's not a spider.
You got a spider? Oh, that's bad luck to kill it. That was our class pet.
Get us a new one. It's just not a
They're all
snake.
in on that.
Doesn't have to be a spider. It'd be like a fly or last year a snake got in one of my classes.
I don't care about snakes.
Really?
They won't hurt you.
All
Alright.
It's like snakes are shit.
And statement, here we go. Where did my mess up go? Love it. Is that 16? So I have 8 here, 0's down here, 12 here. 8 solid dot going this way. 12 open dot going this way, or solid dot going this way. It's an and statement. Nope. So we got the empty set. Why is this not showing on me? Empty set. There we go. 4 slides left? Alright, I'm going to go to the 4th slide first. What time are we out of here? 11?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm at the very last slide. Problem number 16. We skipped ahead. Does anyone know how to clear a decimal? What did I do here? Yeah, multiply by 10. Okay. And solve that. I think you guys be alright solving these. So you feel good about this? Express your answer in interval notation. We could do that. Is this one goofy? I'm just looking for one that might be goofy on us. You know, like the Disney character Goofy. Fractions, mixed numbers, I think we're okay. Yes?
Yeah.
Any of the last slides you wanted to see? I need to know what number it would be. You want to see 13? Alright. I don't like mixed numbers, so I would do this. I'd make that 11 over 2, x plus 13 is greater than 6, 7 over 2x minus 7. Is that okay so far? I have a denominator. I have 2 denominators. They both happen to be 2. So if I were to go through this whole problem, multiply this by 2, 2, 2, and 2, I'd get this. Cancel 7x minus 14. And then solve it from there. Does that help you? Cool. So, we good? Now, your assignment tonight, and I'm going to pull this up, is going to be page 7 and 8. Okay? But let me pull this up on Schoology real quick so you have an awareness of where things will happen. All right, so 7 and 8 is the homework. Ready? So once you go into courses on Schoology, and I know this is probably a repeat for most people, but just in case, go find your accelerated algebra 2, and then if you click on semester 1, if you don't have a workbook yet, all right, so page 7 and 8, I believe is that one, I think.
It's the one with 1C.
1C?
It is.
So if you click on that and then you download it, you could print it once it loads.
Yeah, right.
And boom. So is that 7 and 8? Cool. So that's where you'd find the worksheet. So if I back out of that real quick, I need to go into if you go into the semester 1 folder, of course I got all this information that comes up. Go into the semester 1 folder, it's the red folder under the courses. You'll find it there. Also, I'm not sure if you knew this, if you click on the purple folder, these are our notes. Here was first day, here's the second day, here's the video from the first day, here's the video from the second day. Not sure if you knew this, but if you click on the video, it's not going to necessarily open up. So then you go back up and you click this, and it'll take you to a YouTube. And then you can get to YouTube. Okay? Cool? Yay? Everyone happy? Everyone know what the assignment is?
Yes.
All right, will someone do me a favor? Pull that blue thing way away from the door before anyone goes out. Go get a phone. I got to stop the video.